Before I get into today's video, remember to follow me on Twitter. So my Twitter, the link is in the description below. You can also find me. My handle is @JacksonKruger. Come over, say hi, and anyways, back to your regularly scheduled video. All right, let's talk about the best player in football, the guy who finally got his ring, Aaron Donald. Let's break down what he did so well. I've already talked a bit about Aaron Donald, but now that we have all 22, I kind of wanted to really, get in depth about so many of the, key impact things he had. A lot of it wasn't even just himself just beating guys at the line. That was a part of it, but it was sometimes some other stuff like what you're going to see here. So here's the blocking concept for the Bengals. I've circled Aaron Donald. He's the main guy they're paying the most attention to. So they're going to double team Aaron Donald on this play, which makes sense. You can't leave this guy in a one-on-one matchup, especially with, Hakeem Adeniji, who has not been great this season. So leaving him one-on-one against Aaron Donald, that seems like a mistake. So on a typical play, your center might, go to the left, might go to the right. So if you want to blitz, then you kind of have to guess a little bit where he's going to go if you really want to have a better lane. And especially with the way that the Bengals don't typically have halfbacks block. You see right now they're in, 5 wide, meaning just the 5 offensive linemen are the guys who are blocking on this play. Typically, what would happen is if you blitz and send 5, well, if the center is naturally going that way, he can still pick up the blitz and the blitz is fine. But if he's not going that way, so for example, if someone on the left side of the screen blitzes, well, then you would still have a guy to block everybody. But if someone on the right side of the screen were to blitz, well, now you only have 2 offensive linemen there, and there's already 2 defensive linemen who are rushing the passer. Look at how, when there is a blitz on that side of the field right here, who can pick up number 50? Really nobody. I mean, there's not an option. And what makes this even more interesting is Von Miller dropped back into coverage on this play. So you now essentially have 3 offensive linemen on Aaron Donald, and you have nobody to block a blitzing linebacker. These are just the mismatches that the Rams can get you in. Now, Burrow would elude that pressure, but then also Aaron Donald is the one who ends up chasing down Joe Burrow. So that's kind of a weird thing where on one hand, you could sit here and say, okay, that's a lucky sack. That did get considered a sack. You could argue, well, that's certainly an element of luck that was involved there. But the reason why it was lucky and the reason why he got a favorable situation was set up because of him. So it kind of all circled back. It kind of came full circle, and he ended up getting the credit that he deserved just weirdly on that play. And then, of course, there also was just stuff like this, where this is going to be a play where you leave Donald on Adeniji one-on-one. So that's something that, not ideal, perhaps. Look at how Aaron Donald is just going to bull rush him, and he's going to be able to get the sack right there. So that was both of it. It's like, okay, you got to double team him, but if you double team him, this was part of why I think we saw the Rams blitz maybe a little bit more than we thought they would, because they can get more value than you typically get out of a blitz, because they pretty much know where the center is blocking on every play. He's blocking in the direction of number 99. And so because that's happening, then you can blitz and get free rushers. And if you still have the center kind of mix it up here and there, well, then you lose. So you basically have to do it, that's the added value that number 99 has for the Los Angeles Rams. I also thought that this play was just a really interesting play. So he's going to be double teamed on this play, and it's going to work. Look, Aaron Donald gets double teamed. Like, it's working out. There's not really much room he can go. I mean, listen, Aaron Donald isn't a god. It's not like he was winning literally every single rep he was there, but even when you don't win a rep, that doesn't mean that the play is over. That doesn't mean you just give up and say, okay, I lost at the line, so it's over. And that's what I thought Donald did a good job of. And what this entire Rams defensive line did a good job of is not allowing Joe Burrow to scramble. Look at how you're going to see Aaron Donald keep with Burrow, and Burrow had no way he was going to be able to scramble on that play. Ended up getting the ball out, so ended up being a good play for the Bengals. But stuff like that is another way you can add value as a defensive lineman. Don't let Joe Burrow be able to add value with his legs. That's what he can do. And also something like this, where what's going to happen on this play is it's going to be, so again, you see the blocking concept right here, but it's a little bit interesting because, on that earlier play where there was no one in the backfield, now there's currently a tight end in the backfield, and actually a halfback kind of lined up as a tight end on this play. So interesting stuff there. The halfback P. Ryan on the right, he's going to chip an edge rusher, but then just runs his route. But for a tight end, you're keeping him on the same side that Aaron Donald is on. Donald's the guy who I've circled in black. And so look at how right when this play begins, so you have CJ Uzomah, who is, on that side of the field. He's ready to help out his left guard. But what this does now is, again, like I said, the weakness of the Bengals is their right guard. Well, now he has a one-on-one matchup with Von Miller, which is not ideal. And while you did have extra help in there, you want to spend that extra help on Aaron Donald, but this now makes things easier for these other talented pass rushers on the Rams. And as you see, Von Miller is going to be able to go over there, and he's the one who ends up bringing Joe Burrow down there. So Miller got the sack on that play, but it was in a lot of ways set up because of Aaron Donald's good work in his own way. So that's kind of just how that stuff can work. And of course, there's always stuff like this with a great pass rusher, even if it's an interior defensive lineman, which should be mentioned, by the way. Typically, teams have to pay more attention to edge rushers than interior defensive linemen when it comes to the pass rush, but not with Donald. He's the guy who is consistently getting pressure, and it can't happen on stuff like this, where again, he gets that one-on-one matchup against an energy, which he's going to take advantage of. I mean, as you see, look at how he, again, is able to just use his strength to easily get in position where for Joe Burrow, he does kind of have a receiver open over the middle if he wanted to take it. Jamar Chase could have been open, but Burrow he doesn't have the time to get it there. So instead, he has to check this one down to Joe Mixon, and then you're going to see a tackle. They end up losing 3 yards on that play. So again, that's just the many things that Aaron Donald brings to the table and all of those different ways that he can add value. And it's really interesting stuff, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's not exactly a hot take to say Aaron Donald is good at football. We all know what he does, and we all know the value that he brings to the table, but it still just feels like every time I watch his tape, I'm just in awe of how good he is. It's just amazing, how often he wins quickly, not just wins, but wins under 2 seconds. It gets those immediate pressures that are so rare in football. He doesn't make them seem rare, and he does it as a defensive tackle, which is just that much more crazy. The extra value he brings of all this other stuff he brings to the table, it's truly remarkable. He is, I'm glad it seems like he's not actually thinking about retiring and maybe just wants some more money, because I don't want to see him go anywhere. He's just a blast to watch, and I'm very much enjoying watching him play football. And good luck, congratulations to him. He now has a Super Bowl ring. So, yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Aaron Donald? Always love hearing from you. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.